Hello. Today we are going to mark out the soil profiles using the different layers. So you should have already watched the soil profile lecture where I go through each of the layers and describe them. From that, we can look at these images here, and there's several images, a couple of pages of them, where you'll be the one to identify the different layers, okay? So, looking at this first one, I'll help you with this one. We can see that the top layer, the O layer, is represented. It's right here. Not all of these are going to have all layers. Some will only have a couple of layers. They're not each going to have all of these 6 layers or the 5 that we talk about. So we've got the top layer, the O layer. And then I'm looking here and I see this dark, rich soil layer, which we described as the A layer. And this is how I'm going to have you do it. You're just going to mark off each section and tell me what it is. We briefly talked about this whitish, light-colored layer. That was E. We did not highlight that in the video, but I did mention it. You may see some other ones like this in the upcoming images, but it's very starkly white, usually right below this dark A layer. So in this case, I'm going to mark off E. And that's because the clays in this region have been leached away, and it gives a much more whitish, bright color. You don't always see that, but you might occasionally see that. And then after the E layer, we've got B, and this one does have a pretty significant B layer. It's not made up of rocks and pebbles and boulders, but it is lighter in color than that rich A layer. And in this image, we don't have a C, which has large boulders in it, parts of the bedrock that have started to break away. And we also don't have the R layer, which is the actual bedrock, the solid rock. So in this case, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 of them. Now, if I look at this next image, I'm not going to draw this one out. You'll do this for each one of the images, but for instance, there's no E layer here. You don't see that white layer between the A and the B layer in this particular image. You're also not seeing any kind of bedrock in this one. So clearly, these images are not going to have every single layer. You're going to do the best you can to identify what you do see. And you'll go through them one at a time, tell me which ones you see, mark them off along the sides. Doing the best that you can to interpret the different layers. All right? All right, thank you very much.